What is up, Freak Show? Today is a great day. I'm going to be talking about a much anticipated game that people really want. Cyberpunk 2077. Is it worth a buy? Let's talk about it. So first off, Cyberpunk 2077 is basically GTA meets very, very future. There's a lot of good things that I see that this game had. This game had a lot of potential, and the setting that it was placed in feels really, really good. This feels like it's coming off more of like a review. These are just my first impressions. I haven't gone through the entire story, nor have I done all of the extra stuff as far as looking at in-game and all that sort of stuff. So let's keep it curtailed down and just give you a couple of the goods and the bads that I have found within this game just by playing it the few hours that I have. And by few, I mean upwards of like 12. Anyway, this video was long overdue. I should have done this during the first day that I had done it, I had played or whatever. So let's get into it. First off, this story is beautiful. I am absolutely intrigued by this story. I love getting into it. Now, I've only played as a nomad. I'm not sure how much things change or what other different stuff happens with being like a street kid or a corporate exec or whatever. I will eventually play into those sometime in the future, but for now, this is just the nomad playthrough or the nomad understanding of the game. I'm pretty sure it would just be the front part of the story being a little bit different, and then the back end of the story would pretty much be the same. But with all of that being said, I think that the story is very intriguing, and it grips you and it keeps you plugged in. It throws a couple of twists. It throws a couple of things that are from left field. You didn't really see it coming. You didn't see certain events taking place because you didn't really know what to expect. It's a completely new universe and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, as you're playing this game, it like I said, it grips you and it keeps you inside of it. And it's really, really good. Now, there are a few things that I feel like seem to be lackluster at most. I'm just comparing this to GTA because it's probably the closest thing that I could. In GTA, it felt like you came into a certain part of the city with a certain character and you had a full story with them, and then you had a secondary character that was in a different part of the map, and then you played through their story type thing, and then they eventually all kind of like came together, right? There's 3 of them. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Each one had like a separate, unique experience, but their paths all intertwine, and then you get like basically the full layout of the map through all of these different experiences. Well, in this game, it seems that you're having one experience that doesn't intertwine with anything, and then the rest of the map is just magically open for you, meaning that people were just calling me, telling me like, oh yeah, I'm the fixer of this place, and if you need a job or need money, then come to me if you're in this place or something like that. Which is very vague and it seemed like there should have been some sort of introduction, or I should have crossed paths during the story at some point, or maybe I should have had something different about this, that, or the other. I'm not really sure what I was looking for, but I sure wasn't just wanting to be like, oh, I accidentally strolled into your area and they're like, oh, we know about you. And it's like, really? I haven't done anything for you to know who I am. And they're like, oh, but you know, come to me if you need work. It's like, shouldn't I have to like prove myself to you? I don't know. It was very confusing for me. I didn't really like how they expanded the map and gave you enough freedom on everything. From what I can tell on the first part, like, again, haven't played through the entire thing, so I'm not sure maybe if it will tie in better, if there's something different that will happen or whatever. But moving on from that, that's just a story aspect and kind of like how you got into the universe altogether. Tidbits of different pieces of different groups is thrown at you, but never really like actually shown. Anyway, long story short, I don't feel like it's fully fleshed out to let you know the entire universe of what they're making or what they have made, but they are giving the story that you are following with, you know, as far as, you know, spoiler alert, Keanu Reeves is in here, and him being in that storyline and everything is fantastic. I've loved it. It's gripped me. I really want to play through it. I really want to know what happens. But like I said, the entire universe just kind of opens up to you, even though it doesn't really coalesce with what's going on in the story. It just seems like something that's not very polished. Going into polish for this game, just The graphics on a PS5 look fantastic. It looks great. I have played this on a PS5. I have not had the graphical bugs or glitches or things that look a little bit less than optimal for, say, a PS4 or an Xbox One X or Xbox One, whatever. Anyway, I love the PS5 graphics. I think they're great. I have seen some video and some stuff of PS4 graphics that look absolutely god awful. So if you have a PS4 or an Xbox One X, Xbox One S, whatever, Xbox One, whatever version, definitely take a look at what you're getting before you get the game. 100% look at it. Try to find something that has a PS4 or an Xbox One viewage, or, you know, as far as an example. I've seen some pretty interesting stuff. I think someone may have just made a funny video in which they turned down graphics on their PC and said that it was PS4 or Xbox One X, but it got me very suspicious about it. Anyway, moving on. My PS5 has been doing really nice with the graphics and everything, but man, there are hiccups on a lot of these animations. There are hiccups on a lot of this stuff that doesn't make any sense. People standing when they should be sitting or relaxing in a chair, watching them fly between the two, certain things with, you know, it's just weird things. People's head twitching and glitching in wrong ways, and people's bodies twerking and twisting and stuff that just doesn't seem right. But I was giving it the benefit of the doubt that this thing, you know, I was still immersed in the story. So I was giving the benefit of the doubt of just saying, like, I really like the story. So these minor bugs or whatever, it's like, man, it's kind of weird, but it's not really detained from the story. But looking back on it, man, they announced a date, they pushed it back. They announced a date, they pushed it back. They announced a date, they pushed it back. I don't know, maybe it's like 3 or 4 times. But still, my point is that if it wasn't ready, it wasn't ready. Don't let anybody have the game. Don't let anybody see the game. Don't let anybody use the game. Don't sell the game that it's a full-fledged game. I don't care how much pressure you get from people. I don't care if your marketing team went off too quickly and got people really hyped about it when they shouldn't have. I don't care if your publisher was pushing at you. Like, we need to let devs fully flesh out the game. Because here's the next part. Gameplay. Gameplay is trash in this game. I hate it. I think it's so bad. Like, just shooting people and stuff is fine. It's whatever. I get some shots off with some guns and it's great and whoop-de-doo. But man, AI is dumb. The guns don't really feel all that impressive or great. It just feels like I'm just holding something up there and then shooting a couple of bullets, but doesn't really feel like I'm shooting bullets. It doesn't sound like I'm really shooting. It just doesn't really feel all that. The gunplay just doesn't feel any good at all. And then, like I was saying, that made me think of some of the animations. So there was this time when these two people were riding on bikes around our car. Pathetic animations on it's like if someone took a still model and then just drove it around the map or made it move on the screen. Anyway, that's just an offbeat type point, but going back into gunplay sucks, terrible. And then moving into having like the AI and what the AI does. There's just time when I was in this room with this, trying to like something with a van or something like that, trying to like jack into the van, quote unquote, and there was like 20 enemies in the room, and these AI aren't tracking me. They aren't coming in they aren't being forceful and coming toward me. They aren't making themselves known or seen very well. The mini map doesn't expand or shrink as you're doing stuff. I mean, there are many things that are wrong with this game, and it is not a very good first impression from me. I was telling people at first when I was playing that I was giving it like a 7.5 out of 10. I don't have a score for it yet, but man, that has dropped immensely after playing some of this or playing more of this. I thought they did a really great job telling the story as far as getting you hooked in and like getting things very interesting. And then having cool little twists or things that I didn't see coming because I didn't know anything was happening. I was just letting the story play out for itself. But long story short, I don't think that this is a game that would be worth buying. It might be worth watching the story, but as far as buying and playing it, I mean, I'm not really hooked on the actual play of it. I just want to know what happens in the story, and then I'll probably be out. And it's really unfortunate because they had a really, really, really good premise with the 2077, and then like the whole like cyborg type thing with having people be bionic. And how, you know, let you upgrade all the different stuff, and they have all these different upgrade techniques on all these different traits that you can improve on your character and that sort of stuff. Thought it was great. Thought it was amazing or whatever. I mean, it kind of resembles a Watch Dogs type feel. Someone threw that in there. I think it was Timmy. Anyway, yeah, the Watch Dogs type feel is completely right, of hacking different things in the city, remote hacking and that sort of stuff. But I just thought 2077 was going to be a cool idea. And it seems like the premise is there and the idea is there, but it's just the execution and the actual gameplay itself just seems to be falling a little bit apart. But don't get me wrong, CD Projekt Red had developed into the story. The story seems very, very good. And so if you're a CD Projekt Red fan and want to play the story, then by all means, take it upon yourself. But it is not a finished product. It is not ready. And just fair warning to you. So anyway, these have been my first impressions. I appreciate you guys sticking around for the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the tidbits of the scenes that I have done. It's that all of the stuff that you see here should be from my first 4-hour stream. There shouldn't be any other clips from anything else. So it's pretty early in the story and things that you would have seen at the very front end of the game. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a beautiful holiday season, because it is Christmas time and all that sort of stuff, and Hanukkah and all the other holidays too. So enjoy your freaking time in this. I'm just talking. All right, I'm out of here. Enjoy yourselves. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.